Hi guys, this is Adam again with Adrenaline Cycles coming at you with the quick springtime is coming right around the corner, and this tech tip here is making sure your buggy is ready to go in the best shape it can be in. And I want to start out with some of the most important things here. Get your owner's manual out of your buggy. If you bought a new one, it should have come in the glove box. If you bought a used one, do some research online. I'm sure you can find the stuff you need to. On this Can-Am particular model, it is for an X3, and I think it starts on page 99, maintenance. So you're going to do a little pre-maintenance, pre-ride inspection before springtime gets here, just to make sure you have the best time you can out on the trail, not be losing any time when the weather breaks and it's nice to be out riding. So refer to this book. It's your owner's manual, so it'll have a lot of great tips and advice on what weight oil, the quantities and things like that to use. So we'll go ahead and start here. BRP does a really nice job of offering these pre-assembled kits for oil. This one here is for an X3. If you're at a dealership, they should have this somewhere that you can go to the wall and look. They have X3, obviously this one's easy to see. It's got more specs and stuff on the side. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but in a kit, it's pretty good setup. It comes with all your engine oil that you need, as well as a few other things. But before we get into the details, guys, remember to subscribe to our channels and click the notification bell so we can make sure we keep all you guys up to date with everything that's coming new from us. Diving back into the box here, this kit comes with, for an X3, you get 4 quarts of oil. So you get 4 full-size quarts. You get the correct oil filter from BRP, none of these aftermarket ones. It's all OEM stuff. And it'll come with new O-rings and a crush washer in a little baggie down in the box. So you'll get everything you need in one nice box for a really fair price, and it's all OE stuff. So it's going to cover any warranty issues or any questions that warranty people might have. And they make it for all the BRP models. Here's ones for, the classic V-twin Rotax, and it'll fit this is the Maverick Sport, the V-twin ATVs, the Defender lineup. And again, it's going to come with the same stuff, just a different amount of oil. It'll come with all your crush washers, your O-ring, and your filter. Again, nice setup from BRP. Check that out if you're at the dealer. If you come by our shop, we can go over some of that stuff with you. Another simple thing to check, guys, is your air filter. The book is pretty vague on this. It tells you 1,000 miles, whatever. The air filter is one of the most important things on your engine. So making sure you have a clean air filter in it is very important. And you can't say 1,000 miles. If you're riding dusty conditions, it might be 300 miles. So check it, guys. I would advise checking it probably every 2 or 3 tanks of gas. I mean, just get in your head every 300 miles. Just pick a number and check it, especially if you're in dusty, dry conditions, man. It really, really is important. So don't just go off the book on that one. That's a little tip there for you guys. Moving on down the line, if you want to use your own oil, I got a lot of guys, that out there rely on, whatever, Lucas oil or any brand that you're just in love with and you got to have. That's fine. I'm not going to fault you for that. You can just pick up OE filter. Again, it's going to meet the specifications of, the manufacturer, of the warranty or anything like that. So you can pick that up from a dealer, and that's something you need to do, pretty regular. A good rule of thumb is, 1,000 hours or 1,000 miles, 100 hours. I do it a little bit before that, I think, just based off checking my air filter and then also checking the color of my oil. If it goes from honey to a dark coffee, I don't care if it's 600 miles, I'm changing it. That's just me, but I'm a little paranoid about my engine laying down. Going on down the line here, guys, BRP has gear oil 75, weight 140, or 75 W90, and with this stuff, it goes in the rear transmission and in the front Visco diff, and then just the regular transmission on the V-twin model Can-Ams. So those take different amounts, different levels. So again, refer to your book on that so you'll know exactly how much you need when you're at the dealer picking it up. And again, you can use different brands, but I try to run the OE stuff just because it's here at the shop and it's readily available. Going on down the line, guys, make sure you're using some kind of fuel stabilizer. Again, we got this BRP stuff, works out really well. I've used Lucas in the past, so put it in your buggy. I always run high octane fuel, 93 at the gas pump. non-ethanol when I can get it. It's getting a little harder to find where we're at. Definitely don't hurt to put this in there. Pretty cheap insurance, and just, you know, my buggy might set a month at a time if I get busy here at work or whatever's going on. You know, life hits us all at different speeds. Moving on down the line here, coolant level. Check that. It's underneath the cap on an X3. I think it's, you lift the bed up on a Defender and it's right in there. And you got a little cap and you can check it. Just make sure it's where it needs to be. I don't like mixing stuff because I really don't know what's in the BRP stuff and don't feel like draining the whole system. So I'll just pick up these little quarts and just fill it up and top it off accordingly. Match the color though. That's a good tip there. Don't be matching a bunch of coolant. It's not good. It's going to cause a problem. Going on down the line here, grease again. All your grease zerks and grease fittings on your machine, make sure you're using grease on those, even greasing the drive line. Sometimes they don't have a grease fitting, but it'll help take some of that chatter out if you get a little noise in the floorboard. But again, any kind of grease will work. I just use this again because it's here at the shop, easy for me to grab, so I don't have to stop at the parts store on the way home. And with that, you know, here's some other components to check. Your bearings. They sell bearing greasers now, so you can check those. You know, maybe put a pump or two in and get it going. Going on down the line, ball joints. While you're in the suspension down there greasing your wheel bearings, check your ball joints for torn boots, for any slop up or down, anything like that. Just safety, guys. Again, you don't want to think you don't have a problem, get on the trail when you're right there greasing a bearing and realize this is bad. So just a little maintenance goes a long ways. Another little thing a lot of people overlook are these little radial joints, and they're all over the back end of the machine. And the radius rods that go from the center out to the knuckle, they have one in the knuckle, and they also have one in the front at the trailing arm. So you might want to check those. Typically they don't go bad, but if you get a popping in the back, check for the loose ones, a bolt being loose on the knuckle. And then if you get a strange popping noise in the front, check the front one on the trailing arm, because we've seen these break from time to time, and that'll cause a funny pop at the front of your trailing arm. Moving on down, don't see a lot of this, guys. Again, if you run some bad fuel though, and you know, you start getting an engine light misfire code, odds are you probably fouled a plug. It'll still run, but it's going to run like crap. So that goes back to some earlier maintenance we talked about with your fuel. But you know, if you got a code or something, these spark plugs aren't cheap. You know, they're 12 to 15 bucks a piece for them, and you got to have 3. Don't replace one, replace all 3. That's just, again, something you should do. Moving on down the line from there, brake fluid, check it. Typically, there's not an issue, and BR several kinds now. They got a race fluid, dot 4, and another kind. Again, don't mix the fluids. If you're going from one to the other, don't mix them. And the book will tell you which one you have in your machine specifically, so refer to your book, pick that up. If you want to change it all out, that's fine. You know, you can do that, and then you can put whatever you want there. And then maybe just make a note in your service manual that you got at the house. But while you're changing that, guys, take the time to check your pads. For us, it's been really wet this winter, so the guys are really going through these in less than 1,000 miles. And let me tell you, this is some cheap insurance, around 32 bucks, 34 bucks, versus buying a $100 and something caliper because you didn't check your brake pads in time. So just take note on that when you're checking over your suspension stuff. Peek down, don't take a second to look, and make sure you got good brake pads. And we've talked about belts before in another video. We'll post that link down below. Check your belt, guys. Blow your clutches out. Get all that dust and grime out of your clutches, because it's not good for them. We're seeing a little bit more issues with one-way bearings because of people not, doing some maintenance as far as blowing out the clutches and keeping them clean. And that's in your manual, guys. Again, this is an important thing. A lot of people take it for granted and don't read it. Actually, I got mine for my new model sitting by my bed, so if I'm sitting at the house at night, I'll just pick a section and read about it. And I eat, breathe, sleep these things, and I still read mine, guys. It's, information is always a good thing to have. So hopefully some of this stuff has helped you guys out, and we'll have Josh post links to all this stuff down below. So if you guys need to pick up something, or like something we have here, or just need to get it from anywhere, we'll have some links down there so you can get your buggy ready for the springtime, because it's coming, and it's coming fast. Again, guys, like and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell. And if you got any questions or comments, ask them down below and we'll help you out.